Hi guys, my name is Nicole and I'm your instructor in internet marketing for artists. I thought it'd be good to make a short video to have you meet me, but also to let you know a little bit about my story to help you decide whether this course is right for you. So the first thing to know about me is that ever since I was a little girl, all I wanted to be was a writer. I wrote short stories all the time. I made like fake newspapers that I sent around to my neighborhood. All this to say that like I've always enjoyed it. And finally, in my mid-20s, I kept hearing about, all the rejection and all the hard work and the lack of, success that people can have in writing. And so when I was in my mid-20s and I had my real job, I thought, you know what? I'm at a point now. I'm ready for the rejection. I'm ready for the extra work. Got the income thing covered. Let's start submitting my work to some publications. And so I started doing that. And just like most people, if you've ever heard any writer talk about anything, right? You're like, oh, I got rejected a lot. I got rejected a lot. But there was one publication that seemed more interested than the others. And so what I would do with them is I would say, hey, I have this idea. And they'd say, great, write it up and send it in. And I said, okay. And so I would do that and I send it in and nothing, radio silence. So it took me about 5 times, by the way, I'm a little bit of a slow learner, to finally ask the editor, so why aren't you publishing any of my stuff? And he said, well, Nicole, we don't think you're a good enough writer for this publication. Now, this told me 2 things. One, this guy wasn't going to give me the feedback I needed to get better. I would need to get that from somewhere else. And probably I wasn't going to get it from anybody I was submitting to. And the second thing it told me was that I don't need some middle-aged dude on a power trip to tell me that I'm not good enough for something. Somebody wants to read my stuff somewhere. I had been getting people reading my stuff for years, ever since I could barely write, so why couldn't I do so now? So I went ahead and I set up my website. I, started doing search engine stuff. I started making an email newsletter. I started doing social media, all this stuff to like sort of build up my platform, right? And the great thing about that was I started getting feedback and it was cool. I was getting comments. I was, having people like share my stuff and be like, this is really great, and I was like, okay, like this is really cool. The other part of that would happen with that is that people would see my writing, see that I wanted to be a writer and say, hey, can you write this for me? Could you write that for me? And suddenly I was getting paid to write stuff for people that was way better paying than that publication was, and also that I really genuinely enjoyed writing. Now, I should also say at the time, my day job was at a newspaper. So I'm like moonlighting, trying to submit to other publications, right? So at the newspaper I worked for, I didn't work actually as a writer there. I was in the internet department. And so part of my job was keeping track of the stats on the website. And I told myself, Nicole, someday your blog, your website is going to have as much, if not more views than this newspaper website. And so the week that I quit my job, a year and a half into this, I checked the stats one last time. Sure enough, and I took a little screenshot just for my own knowledge, a lot of my blog posts had gotten way more views than most of the stuff on that newspaper website. And some of them have even gotten way more than even some of the front page articles. All this to say is that, listen, I get that you're good at whatever you do too. Sure, maybe you need some feedback and you want to get better and have a conversation with people, but you've already sold some stuff or people have already expressed interest in what you're doing. Whether you're a glassblower, a sculptor, a painter, like a musician, I don't care what kind of creative you are. You have something to offer and it's really important. And people, it changes people. And I get that you just need to do that. But if we added on this little part of your day that you were building your own platform, you yourself could also surpass the gatekeepers. You don't need an art gallery selling that painting and taking a 50% commission. You don't need that booker to book you, singing gigs that you could potentially get yourself. By putting yourself out there, not only do you get a chance to get better and, have people understand your story and your process and all those other things, that make everybody kind of want to be an artist like you're an artist. But you also get to be your own gatekeeper. And you'll have people probably approach you with opportunities you're not even expecting. So to bring this story full circle, 5 years later, I get a phone call from the publication that rejected me. They want to pay me to write a syndicated weekly column. I guess now that I had my own audience, now that I had my own email list, now that I had my own whatever, suddenly my writing got a lot better and was worth being paid for. Now, it didn't work out, financially, it just didn't make sense for me because I was building my business and doing other things. But the point is that people will and do come around, but you don't have to wait for them to. You can do your thing, don't care if they like it, as Tina Fey would say. And you can do your own marketing and have it take 15 minutes a day or less, honestly. Now, if you get sucked in looking at pictures of your ex-boyfriend's wedding on Facebook, I can't help you there. But I can tell you that if you implement these things in this program, you don't have to spend hours on social media. You don't have to know a ton of code. You don't have to be able to learn all these like extra skills beyond your skills as an artist to be able to be successful in the online world. So let's build you a platform and let's have you make real money without having to schlep your stuff to art shows, hoping someone's going to buy something this weekend as you sit in the hot sun and have your whole weekend sucked away. You don't have to wait for a gallery owner to give you the equivalent of a golf clap, and to be approved for like one space in their gallery and for this one show that they're going to have. You can be making money anyway. Really. I want to help because I get what it feels like to have something to give to the world and have seemingly these barriers that are stopping you from doing it that aren't really that big once you know how to get around them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Again, my name's Nicole, and I hope to see you in the Internet Marketing for Artists course. Invest the time, the little bit of time per day, invest the money, and I promise you that good things are going to come of it, and I will do everything in my power to help you have good outcomes from this if you're as committed as I am. So again, see you soon in the course. And please, though, if you have any questions, you can reach out and contact me, and I'm happy to answer them. All right, take care.